Call to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Belsley.
Here.
Dobb.
Here.
Hare. Herman.
Here.
Kaufman. Newhouse.
Here.
You have a quorum.
We do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no public hearings tonight, no special presentations. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make a comment? I wonder if Ms. Schoenbein would like to tell us why all the students are here tonight.
For our CHI class, which is a job program, we have to come to a meeting, either a village board meeting or a school meeting throughout the year, and then we're going to write like a paper on what we heard tonight.
Great. Anything that anybody in the audience would like to remove from the agenda? Anything that any of the board members would like to remove? Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Your Honor. Second.
Second by Randy. Call it.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
I have one item, and that is a proclamation. This is Motorcycle Awareness Month. Members of ABATE, A-B-A-T-E, that's a group, I think it's called the Brotherhood Aimed Toward Education, has asked that we declare this Motorcycle Awareness Month. There's something like 650,000 motorcyclists in the state of Illinois, and the idea is that we all be sharp and watch where we're going. They're going to be on the road more than ever. So I would like to declare this Motorcycle Awareness Month. Also, along those same lines, all the kids are going to be out on their bikes too, especially with this warm weather. So I sure hope everybody's going to be really extra careful. Go slow when you're going between parked cars and keep your eye open. Kids are pretty excited about the warm weather. So am I. Village Clerk.
I have a waiver request by the Morton Tourism Association requesting the waiver of the bond for the, in conjunction with their application for a raffle license.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second by Kidger. Any discussion?
What kind of raffle they have?
What was that?
What kind of raffle do they have?
Honestly, don't know.
I'm sorry.
He wants to know what kind of raffle they hold.
It'll be in conjunction with the barbecue throwdown, and then there will be, this also covers them for any other raffles they may have through the year,
Through the association or the tourism office?
through the Tourism Association.
Okay.
The administrator is responsible for tourism. Did you want to add anything to that, Wendy?
Well, I am responsible for tourism, but this is the Morton Tourism Association, which is a volunteer group that I am not in charge of.
Uh-oh.
It's interesting how that works, but Susan is a part of that group, but it's a bigger group altogether, you know what I mean? And they don't fall under the Village of Morton departments.
Is that enough information, Tom?
At this point, you know.
Any other questions? Call it.
Dobb.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yeah.
Belsley.
Yes.
Village administrator.
I have 3 items tonight, Your Honor. The first one is the approval of interfund transfers. I am asking approval to transfer $27,000 from the general fund and $142,000 from the water and wastewater depreciation fund to the capital projects fund.
Can I have a motion?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second?
Second.
Second by Belsley. Any discussion? Call it.
Herman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Next
So-
item.
Second item on my list is I'm asking the board's approval of resolution number 0214, a resolution changing the designation of the Fire Paramedic Equipment Fund. And we're going to change this to the General Fund Departments Fund. If you remember, during the budget, we decided that we needed to accumulate all of the funds for those general fund departments in one, so we could make better decisions looking at all of those departments across the general fund at one time.
Motion,
So moved.
second?
Second.
Second by Belsley. Any discussion?
This is not just for vehicles then, this is for other,
It
Equipment?
mainly is, it would mainly be our vehicles, but I thought equipment allows us,
Yeah.
if we have a bigger dollar one, we can, we can
Okay.
add that in and kind of start planning, because those things do come up.
okay, thank you.
If there are no other questions, call it.
Newhouse,
Yes.
Belsley,
Yes.
Cobb,
Yes.
Herman.
Yes,
The last item on my list is I'm asking approval of ordinance number 14-01, an ordinance amending Title 12, Chapter 3, Section 16I5 of the Morton Municipal Code regarding longevity accrual. Essentially, what we're trying to do here is close a loophole that we've had, not even necessarily a loophole, but we've allowed, if somebody left and they came back, their longevity could accrue under the way this is written. So we're just trying to clean it up so that it basically, if you leave employment with the village, you don't keep that longevity if you were to come back.
Any questions? I have a motion, please.
I got a question of Pat. Reading this, Pat, the way it reads, does this mean like if a female employee took additional time for pregnancy with unpaid leave, that her longevity would cease during that time?
I don't have your full code in front of me, so I can't see the text. I can't see this change in context of the sections. It is changing. It is my understanding that it would not cover like family medical leave after maternity leave, but rather a cessation of employment and then a return to employment.
Okay, if that's all, but the way it's worded here, it says, request has obtained an unpaid leave of absence, and that's what I was wondering.
We actually talked about make sure that didn't happen. If somebody gets pregnancy leave, we want to make sure the longevity stays.
Okay.
Any other questions? We get a motion? No. Could I have a motion? Mr. Newhouse. Second?
Second.
Mr. Belsley. Please call the question.
Belsley,
Yes.
Dobb,
Yes.
Herman,
yes,
Newhouse.
Yes. Chief of Police.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am requesting the board to approve ordinance number 14-02. It's an ordinance amending Title 6, Chapter 9 of the Morton Municipal Code. It's regarding electronic cigarettes, other nicotine products, and amending our present tobacco ordinance. To let the board know, back in 1997, our village board took the forefront in passing an ordinance prohibiting the possession or consumption of tobacco products by someone under the age of 18. Prior to that, state statute only disallowed the delivery or selling to minors, but once you had possessed it, there was nothing prohibiting that. At that time, I was working on a community policing grant, and I drafted an ordinance and had Tom go over that, and it was presented to the village board by a Drug and Alcohol Task Force, which was a group of youth from our high school and junior high. We have recently discovered some issues regarding a new product with electronic cigarettes or vapors. The health issues with this are very concerning to what we're seeing right now, and until studies are done, we won't know. The FDA recently, within the last week or two, came out with a recommendation to prohibit the usage of these products by anyone under the age of 18. One of the things that we've seen is with the vapors, it initially came with a disposable cartridge. However, now they're having refillable cartridges, which can cause a spillage of some of the liquid on one's person. The absorption is into the body is very hazardous to one's health. It is very extreme high concentrate of nicotine product, which we know is the chemical within the cigarettes that is the addictive product. We have worked with the school district regarding this because of issues that we discovered on some calls that we had at the school. We've had over a dozen incidences at our high school, as well as some of our grade schools with this product. It is our urging to the board that we adopt this tonight. It allows the school to get information disseminated to their students prior to the summer while they've got them in one concentrated point. The fines would continue to be the same as what they are with the tobacco ordinance that we presently have. It just broadens it a little bit and covers some areas that we are seeing that are lacking.
Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I've got Hare and Dobb. Tom Dobb was second. Any discussion on this? Call it, please.
Dobb,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Corporate Counsel,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Director of Fire and Emergency,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Director of Public Works.
One item tonight, Your Honor. In front of you is resolution number 01-14. This is a resolution authorizing an amendment to the development agreement with Farm and Fleet. Basically, Farm and Fleet has requested that we extend the lease due to severe weather this winter. They won't be able to open their store as originally planned on August 1st. So their attorney has been working with Tom to come up with something on this, and basically it moves it to October 1st. As a result, we've also had some issues with the road work out front, so I've asked that those be delayed also to be in line with that. And then in addition, the promissory note payments will also be, as they are in the agreement, those will be extended also to 1 year after the opening of the store.
Could I have a motion?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second? Second, Dobb. Any discussion? Call a vote, please.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Planning and Zoning.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Belsley.
One item this evening, Your Honor. I am requesting approval to waive formal bidding and to ask approval for a quote from Morton Buildings in the amount of $24,450 for a new building to be located at our Target Range facility northwest of town. This will help us gain back some of the square footage of storage space and other various uses that we've had for the buildings out there. 2 facilities were taken out when the tornado hit last November. And this will be a 30 by 38 foot long building. And besides storage, it'll also allow for some space for an observation deck for the Target Range facility itself. Morton Buildings has been a longtime employer in the community. They're very aggressive with their pricing. In fact, they were almost a little bit close to 26% below their market pricing for a comparable building on this. And the previous facilities out there were also Morton Buildings. The price does reflect prevailing wage. It's a line item that we have in our budget for this fiscal year. And in addition, some of the insurance payout from the damaged buildings last fall in the amount of $73,000 will be going towards the purchase of this building as well. That's really it in a nutshell, unless there's other questions, but I'd request,
You've made the motion.
I'll make a motion for
Could I have
approval.
a second?
I'll second.
Tom seconds. Any further discussion? I think the sale's already been made, but I have to point out that I happen to know that Mr. Belsley did an awful lot of negotiating on this, spent a lot of time on this, and I sure appreciate it. Can we have the vote, please?
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Trustee Dobb.
Nothing tonight.
Trustee Hare isn't here. Trustee Herman.
Just wanted to mention that the emergency preparedness forum that I mentioned at the last meeting was held May 1st, and it was very successful. We had a good turnout. We had an excellent panel of first emergency responders and from a five-county area, and also a couple of citizens that were affected by the November 17th tornado. They were able to share some tips based on their personal experience, and it was a real nice evening, and I'd like to thank Chief Hilliard for attending that and representing the Village of Morton. Really appreciate it. That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Kaufman is not with us tonight. Trustee Newhouse.
I have 5 items, Your Honor, and each of them requires a little explanation. First is petition number 14-04 SP. This is approval for a special use permit to Ted Clark for a car wash at 915 West Jackson, Zone B2. Trustees will remember that I had some reservations about changing this zoning arrangement and introducing special use under B2. I can't say that I'm yet enamored of the idea, but in this particular instance, this particular application, any objections or concerns that I had have been met. And in fact, Mr. Clark, before the Plan Commission, explains in their business plan provisions for automotive stack-up that caused me some concern. The concern was that we wind up with cars backed up out of Martha's Parkway waiting to turn. That gives us an issue with the state because of the proximity to the freeway. They've accommodated that in their plan. The adjacent businesses are satisfied and approve of the installation. And basically, this is a large plot of private property, and at some point, we have to say this is none of the village's business. If the property owner says, I'm willing to have this as part of my complex, then that should be sufficient. So with that as kind of background, I will recommend approval. So moved.
So moved. Do we have a second? Tom Dobbs, second. Any discussion or questions? Call the question, please.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobbs.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Please continue.
Okay, the second item is ordinance number 14-03. This is an ordinance for the rezoning of property at 35 East Jackson Street. That is a former single-family house, now duplexed, that is on the north side of the street and just east of the restaurant. This ties in with some other issues we've had in the past where, however well-meaning the practice may have been years ago, residential property was rezoned into business in the assumption that as business property, it would become more valuable later on, more saleable, because it was perhaps seen as less attractive as residential property. That hasn't happened. We've had a couple of places in town where we've made arrangements to accommodate or change zoning. And this is another one where the current owners are under a burden because they can't sell it as residential property in a business zoning because it's not owner-occupied single family. And so it makes sense to go ahead and complete the rezoning from B2 to R2, and the subsequent owners then, I believe, intend to convert it back to single family. The best outcome would be for any adjacent property that's B2 to be also put back under R2 zoning, and that would benefit the community at large. But in this particular case, this is the right thing to do, so moved.
Second? Belsley. Any questions? Call the question, please.
Dobbs.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Okay, item 3. Normally, we don't consider action by the Zoning Board of Appeals. That is an autonomous body, but because this particular case falls under the provisions of the interchange corridor ordinance, we do have to confirm the ZBA vote. This relates to the acquisition of the former Formaloy property by Lonnie Byers, who's the owner of Byers Automotive on Jefferson Street. And the issue that really has to be addressed here has to do with the fact that it does not front a street. It fronts an access road adjacent to, if you want to think about it, it's adjacent to Grimm Brothers. A good way to think of it. So after review by the Zoning Board of Appeals, the unanimous agreement to grant the variance, I agree and move to approve.
Second? Tom Dobbs. Discussion? Call the vote, please.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse,
Yes.
Belsley,
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Yeah, This will be good for the village of Morton because that area will get cleaned up. In conjunction, Mr. Byers also appeared before the Plan Commission, and the question here is the approval of a special use permit for a car sales lot in the auto repair business. They're in the current industrial zoning. Again, this will result in both of the former Formaloy buildings being improved, and this is a good use of the property. Unanimous recommendation by the Plan Commission. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the
Newhouse,
Yes.
Belsley,
Yes.
Dobb,
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
And last item, Your Honor, as we occasionally have, there's consideration of a Tazewell County zoning case because it falls within our mile-and-a-half area of authority. It has to do with the acquisition of a building by Mr. Todd Staley, who is a Morton resident and has successfully grown his landscaping business. It started out as a kind of a residential-based operation and has now reached the point where he needs a commercial building. I know that Mr. Spangler worked with him in seeking a place in town, and I don't think they were finally not successful in finding one that met his needs. So we're sorry we lose him from Morton, but this is an example of a successful, growing local business, and it has really no impact on any zoning issue for Morton. So no action, in my view, is required. Mr. Spangler and I are in agreement on that. I think we all wish Mr. Staley great success. But other than that, has no implication for Morton.
We're going to have a closed session to discuss some collective bargaining matters. I would ask the administratrix and the fire chief to stay. Everyone else can leave. We do not anticipate any action after this, so you won't have to stay and wait to hear what we decide. Could I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Second by Belsley. All in favor?
Oh, we have to.
Sorry, roll call.
Belsley,
Yes.
Dobb,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes?